stronger, I will stay no longer, and your lies won't conquer me today, tomorrow, not ever. You made me wiser, whoa, oh, oh, a found survivor, oh, oh, now I'm a fighter, whoa, oh, oh.
So we are very, very lucky to have a special gentleman here with us on Hype TV. This is Saalim Ismail. Hello. Thank you for joining us here today.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, now Saalim he says it's awesome, okay, but that's good. He is a singer and a songwriter from Cape Town, South Africa. And he's got a couple of records out there which have made really good movement on the charts, if I can put it like that.
Yeah.
So tell us about Saalim Ismail.
Well, Saalim Ismail is a singer, songwriter, music producer, plus a creative entrepreneur as well, and humanitarian.
Creative entrepreneur and humanitarian. Okay, we're going to talk about the humanity side of things in a moment, but where does the songwriting come in?
Well, you know, as I could recall, the very first song I wrote was inspired by a young boy who passed on.
Okay.
I would do fundraisers for the little guy, and suddenly one evening I was watching the news and up pops this announcement, and immediately after that I wrote my first song entitled Goodbye.
Okay.
And yeah, that's another song for that.
So how did you get into music writing, the songwriting? Because I mean, you can't just sit down and go, you know what, I'm gonna write a song. Maybe you can, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know, some people would do that, but if you want something that's meaningful, authentic, and real, you have to place yourself in a situation and you write of your experience, you know, and yeah, that's basically where all my music sparks from.
Okay. So tell us more about this Goodbye song that you wrote. You said it was for a little guy that you know the person personally?
Not personally. We would do several fundraisers a year to actually raise funds for his, I think it was a bone marrow transplant he did for some rare cancer disease. And yeah.
Okay. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, you've got some music which has made some movement on the charts. When I say movement, I mean he was actually at #1 for some of his music.
Yeah.
So tell us, when was your first #1?
Well, that was in early this year.
Earlier this year, which is 2014.
Early this year, yeah. And it was actually on the Tune's website. It was selected as the top 4 songs of 2013.
Wow.
So that was quite an achievement for me.
And that song's name is?
Walking Away.
Yes. I actually wanted him to say it. You know, it's like, tagline there, Walking Away. So tell us a bit about the story behind Walking Away itself. How did you come about that? Because now we know how you got Goodbye.
Yeah.
Walking Away, what happened there? Because when I heard it for the first time, I was like, I'm not going through a breakup, but I still feel sad.
Well, it's more of an, the song speaks more about a situation that you're going through or that you went through, and basically walking away from that situation as a form of empowerment.
Okay.
And basically what happened was, I mean, 99.9% of the people on this planet went through breakups, you know,
Yes.
and they have their own way of dealing with it. And something clicked with me when a friend spoke to me about his breakup, you know, and his girlfriend also took him for a ride and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I can relate to this, you know. And then suddenly Walking Away sparked, and I was like, is this song for me or is it not for me, you know, because it's like so popish and I'm not wanting to go into the pop direction. But then it just came to mind that I was like, okay, well, the pop market is there, make use of it, and you can still have authentic music.
Okay. Now you mentioned how you listened to your friends went through a breakup, then we had the Goodbye song or something, the kid who did the bone marrow transplants. Where else do you draw your inspiration from?
Personal experiences and other people's experiences.
Okay, so he's a bit of a leech because he looks for situations of things that people are going through. So if you see him on the street, don't tell him your life story because you'll write a song about it and then hit the charts.
Well, they should actually tell me their life story, you know, because you know I've built a bond with certain individuals, and they trust me to an extent, and they would open up to me. And that's where I actually like, okay, it's something, I see a common pattern happening over here, seeing that several other people went through the situation, let me write about it.
Yes.
So it won't particularly be a situation of that it's just personal to me alone. It will always be something, my music will always be something that a broader audience could connect to.
Okay, alright. Now I had the pleasure of attending the launch of his newest single, Stronger.
Yeah.
And he's one of the artists, I must say, from my perspective, as a professional in this industry, that he sings the song with no instruments around, nothing at all. And he sounds exactly the same as it does on a music video or on the radio station. How do you get that right?
Practice, practice, and more practice. That's all I can say.
Practice, and more practice. Okay. Now, if there was somebody very young at the age right now, wanting to practice, but wants to have the success and the drive that you do, what are your words of advice?
Well, from my personal experience, you know, being on the scene for about 17 years as a singer, it's been draining at a certain stage.
Pause. 17 years as a singer.
Yeah, I've grown up in the industry.
He's grown up in the industry. Doesn't look a day over like maybe 27.
So basically, being for that longer period in the industry, offers came, offers were refused. Reason being, I had my father as my manager who made the proper decisions for me. At that point in time, it became so much that I was like, I was burnt out. And I was like, I mean, 4 events, averagely Friday evening, Saturday evening, and maybe 2 events on a Sunday. And it became overbooked where it ran up to like, 8 gigs for a Saturday alone.
Wow.
Which means my first gig is at 10 in the morning and it ends up at like 2.
It becomes a bit of a job, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it just felt that way. And to me it was, why am I doing this? You know, I'm like that, I don't want to do this anymore. And it was like, well, you wanted to do it, so don't complain. It was like, I'm not feeling that passion for it anymore. And then I took some time out, you know, not completely out, but less gigs were taken on, and I went into this reflective process. And I just discovered bits and pieces about myself, and I needed to find a reason to carry on.
Okay.
And it wasn't because of fame, it wasn't because of the riches, etc. It was more that I am actually here to serve a purpose.
Yes.
And through my actions, through my speech, through my music, I am able to actually communicate that experience and purpose.
So that's where the humanitarian comes in, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I suppose.
So if somebody had to stop you in the street and say, give me 2 lines and say, why do you do what you do?
Well,
besides what you just said.
Why do you do what you do?
Why are you here?
Well, I'd say definitely just serve a purpose.
Just to serve a purpose. So I already said, don't tell us what you told us already, and then he tells it again.
Well, yeah, it's more just about being passionate about what you do. And don't take it for granted. Each human being on this planet has their own personal talents, and that is God's gift unto you in order to survive in this world. So don't take it for granted. And yeah.
If we could just take a bit of a back step, you mentioned that your father was your manager. Is he still your manager right now?
No, he's actually retired.
He's retired, okay.
From managing me.
And how important do you think it is that family gets involved in you as a business?
Well, that I feel is a lack in the industry.
Okay.
I mean, Cape Town alone is filled with so much talent. I can say, I can vouch for that.
Yes.
You know, and downfall with it is that there's a lack of parental support in this venture of a musician. And to me, I'm proud to say that my dad was always with me. I mean, the first time I went to a club, my parents was with me.
His parents to a club.
Yeah, I'm not really a club person.
That's probably why you're not a club person.
Yeah, but it's just not my scene, and the music that I do just does not really cater for that market,
Yes.
but more for a listening audience, you know,
Okay.
and those people that are searching for something deeper.
Yes.
So yeah.
You said clubbing is not your scene.
Not
So,
really
so,
my
so
scene.
how do you network and get yourself out there?
Well, that's via social media, that's via friends. I guess my father has just embedded in me entrepreneurial instinct.
And he mentioned social media. All these social media links will be appearing on the video, YouTube channel as well. Videos all out there. Saalim Ismail, thank you so much for coming. I call him Ismail, but he gets upset because it's Ishmael. But everything's got a smile on it, you know. So,
Yeah.
anything else you want to say before we say goodbye?
Well, just that they should actually stay up to date with what is happening in my career and ventures, and for part of it,
He is saying that so that he can take your stories and write a song.
that's part of it as well.
Saalim Ismail from Hipe TV and for myself, Sunnil, Osman, thank you very much for coming in.